Hey, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Drew. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. I am looking forward to Thursday. I think what Guy and I have prepared as our presentation is going to be really exciting, really awesome. So I'm looking forward to connecting with everybody. Feels like it's been a long time, but I guess it has been a couple. It's been 2 months since we've really had a solid NGRN showing. So I'm excited.
Yeah, likewise, dude. I know we've been telling a lot of people about this one, and I'm just excited to see what you and Guy both have to share so I can start implementing it in my business right away.
That's it, man. I love it. So remember, guys, it's this Thursday, not Friday. August 31st from 5:30 to 8:30. So same time, same place, Sam's Club, just different day. And keep in mind that these dates are going to be a little wonky from here to the end of the year. We usually try to run at that last Friday of the month, but due to the availability of the club, we are going to be kind of bouncing around towards the end of the month, and it will be either a Thursday or a Friday every time. But I just wanted to send that out there.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Sweet. But all right, well, without further ado, I'll go ahead and hop into what my chat is. So going over my three metrics, the Dow Jones is up 1.5% over the last week and up 5.18% year to date. The S&P 500 is up about 2.5% and 17.61% year to date. Russell 2000 up 2.36 last week and up 8.27% year to date. And my call to action is going to stay as normal. Don't change your plan. Be consistent and intentional with your plan. However, I really want to talk about life insurance. So this month is National Life Insurance Awareness Month, believe it or not. And so I think it's only in good nature for me to share positive things about life insurance and just kind of help you guys understand, because most people get hung up on the concept that life insurance is an income replacement tool and that's it. And depending upon the life insurance type that you have, that may be true. If you've got a term policy or a universal life policy, then generally it's going to be used as that income replacement. However, there are alternative investment situations in which you can actually play the life insurance game for different reasons. So, for example, I sat with a few clients this past week and a half, and there were several situations in which life insurance made sense. One situation was that the individual had started a little bit late in her investment career. And so she needs life insurance to guarantee that if something happens to her, that her family's taken care of because her debts are so substantial. And so she needs that term piece of insurance. Another was a married couple in which they have built up so many assets in other forms that were great. They have lots of rental properties. However, they need life insurance for the key purpose of, in case one of them dies, their social security loss would be detrimental to the retirement plan. So you need that death benefit to replace the social security amount that was going to be used. So that's another one. Alternatively, someone like myself is using a VUL to fund long-term gains in a tax-free vehicle to leverage the ability to be able to pull that money out and not pay taxes like a Roth. So there's a ton of different strategies and ways you can leverage life insurance within your portfolio. And it doesn't matter how old you are to have that conversation. Most people think, oh, I'm too old, or oh, I'm too unhealthy. You don't know until you've been underwritten. And so consult with a financial planner, ask them the right questions, explore how life insurance can benefit you and your portfolio, because more than likely there's a need that you don't even think you need. Even if you're young and single, ask yourself, are you going to have kids? Are you going to have a wife or husband or spouse? Are you planning on having dependents who are, living under you? If any of those answers are yes, are you getting older every single day? Yes. Does insurance become more and more expensive the older you get? Yes. So why not lock those rates in today to avoid paying more in the future? So that's my spiel. I think life insurance is super important. And if you haven't consulted a financial professional, I strongly advise you do, because, you know, you never know what can happen.
Yeah, for sure. And go see Drew. Holy crap, he's right here. His contact info is there. Just go see him. Drew, I do have one question before we move to real estate.
Yeah.
When I'm considering opening a life insurance policy, regardless of what it is, and I have to go through the underwriting process, does the insurance company, do they look at my current debts, assets, all of that when they insure me, or is it strictly just health?
Strictly just health. So it's the only thing that they look in your financials is they look at how much income you're making. The reason why is that they're not willing to underwrite over 30 times your annual income. So if you're making $30,000 a year, you can't apply for $1 million policy because they're not going to underwrite. The max you could do is 900,000. So it's the only thing that they rely on that. But the idea is like, you're typically buying a life insurance policy for an income replacement, looking at what's called your human life value, or the amount of income that you will earn from the day you die till technically your retirement years. So if you're 30 when you buy the policy and you want to retire at 60, that's a 30-year window to which you would be working. So you take your annual salary times 30, accounting for no growth. And that's what your life insurance policy should really be, which is why they will accept up to that 30 million or 30 times your annual income. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes total sense. Gotcha.
Perfect.
Interesting. Because you mentioned that one scenario where someone had a lot of debt, lined up and really no exit strategy if for some reason she passed. So that's actually a really, really good idea. I actually never considered that as a reason as to why someone would use it. So, but I imagine most people find themselves in that situation versus the opposite, where people are using it for investment purposes, right? Because the average consumer is not, benefiting investment wise from a life insurance policy. That's not their plan with it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's, those beliefs that, oh, your debts die with you. And that's the case for a lot of debts. But, if you have an upside down asset, for example, a home, I mean, think about the people who owned homes in 2008 and they passed away, right? They could have had an upside down asset that now your kids are left with. They have to pay, they have the mortgage, it's still tied to the house. They have to sell the property, pay off the mortgage, and they're out of pocket on their own money, right? Because the deed passed accordingly. So, there's a lot of assets in particular that you could be underwater on, and who knows, or that the debts will travel down to your kids. So, yeah.
Dang. Yeah, that's not a good situation.
Not at all. Not at all. So, but that's all for me, man. How about you? What market are we talking about today?
Yes, sir. So we're going to be talking about the Vail market. We're coming up at the end of August here, but I don't have August data quite yet. So we're looking at July 2023. The average sales price was $396,000 for a single family home in Vail. When we look at the days on market, we saw an increase of 2 days from June to July. July 2023 is currently sitting at 27 days on market for any home. And then the month supply had a uptick from 2.7 to 2.8 in July, which again, that's just, that is displaying the velocity of the market. So it would take 2.8 months, almost 3 months for all of the current inventory in Vail to sell out. So compared to Tucson and Sahuarita specifically, I'm not sure about Marana. Seems like it's moving maybe a little slower than the others, but I have to believe that's because of the average sales price. The sales price, in Vail again is 396,000, almost 400 grand, versus Sahuarita, Tucson, you're looking more around 350 to 330, right? So that's why I think it's moving at a little bit of a slower pace, but overall, it's still looking pretty healthy and staying busy. My biggest call to action today is really just an update. If you have not heard and you're watching this, whether or not you're a consumer or realtor, regardless of what you do, who you are, you need to know about this program that's going on right now. And it's called the PIMA Lighthouse Program. So it's specifically for buyers who are buying in Pima County. And it kind of provides three really cool options for buyers right now. One is the low mortgage rate. It's a 6.2% 30-year fixed rate, which is 1% less than the national average right now. So it's a significantly lower rate compared to market. It's also a 4% down payment assistance program. So this program specifically benefits FHA borrowers. So they can use an FHA loan, which is 3.5% down minimum, and they get 4% down payment assistance. So they get their basically their closing costs and their down payment completely covered by this program Pima County is coming out with. And then it's fully forgivable after 3 years. So if you live in the property for 3 years and then you go to sell the house, that money that you borrowed, specifically the 4% down payment, is not, you do not have to pay that back. So that's money straight into your pocket if you live in the house for longer than 3 years and then you go to sell it. So the only bad thing about this is that if this is your first time hearing about it, chances are the money's probably ran out. I think it was, and don't quote me on this, but I want to say it was like 50 to 60 million dollars was assigned to this program for buyers to apply and use. And I was talking to my lender yesterday, and he was saying that if you're not currently under contract on a home, chances are by this weekend that money will be gone. So, and that was within like a month and a half, if that, it's completely gone. So I just want to encourage everyone that this program, it was a really great program if you haven't benefited from it. But what this tells me as a consumer is that, holy crap, people are really looking for affordability in the real estate marketplace right now. And they're willing to make programs like this as a county to ensure people are getting affordable debt product. And it was super attractive. So a ton of people went for it. The money's already gone. I wouldn't be surprised if they potentially come out with another program in the future, something like this. But it's just very important that if you are in the market to buy, or you know someone who is, make sure they're working with people who are well educated and can actually, help them get this type of money. Because at a 6.2, that's a significant difference, significant savings from a 7.2 right now, that these people could be locking in, and as well as getting their whole down payment covered, right? So I would just strongly encourage you guys that if you are not aware of this program, or maybe you have clients who are currently under contract using FHA and they don't know about this program, make sure they get access to that money, because it's going to be gone. So biggest call to action, just make sure you're working with professionals. We say it a lot, but that's really all I have for today.
Professional Kate over there. So yeah, no, and I actually have a question for you as well. So you said that you might see another program. Is there a chance possibly that they would add money to this program, or with these types, is it like once the money's done, it's over?
From my understanding, once the money's done, it's over. It's my personal opinion, because the money went so fast and it was so popular, it wouldn't surprise me if the county came back out with another program. How those, monies are delivered and everything, I'm not even sure, to be honest with you. So I don't know if they can just like make more money for the program, or how all that works. All I know is that the money is going to be gone soon, and it wouldn't shock me if they came out with another program, just because of how popular it was and how many people benefited from it. So I'm not sure. That'd be a good question I could look into, and maybe try to get an update for next week.
Be awesome. And then my only other question is actually regarding the Vail markets. So totally an opinion question, but going back, you said it's kind of moving a little bit on a slower type scale. Volume isn't quite, going through as quickly, and the house prices are a little bit more expensive. Do you think that that's a cause for like a stabilization, to kind of contradict what everyone's saying? Oh, housing prices are going to collapse, blah, blah, blah. Like, is Vail a good market to say, no, actually it's, velocity slowing down, yet home prices are still staying exactly the same, to kind of explain the permanence of these home prices?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. I think that when we compare market to market, it's easy to, just state the opinion that, Vail is slowing down, or the fact, right? Because we're comparing fact to fact. Fact is Vail is slowing quicker than that of Tucson or Sahuarita. However, if I go back and I look at let's just look at the past 10 years, right? The average for the past 10 years in Vail has been right along a 5. Okay. So month supply was right around a 5, and that's pretty much been the average for the past 10 years in Vail. Right now, it's sitting at a 2.8. So it's half of what it's been for the past 10 years. So when I look at Vail specifically over the course of 10 years, it's actually still a very, quick market and selling at a fast pace versus that of, Saudita, Tucson. So when I look at Vail in the long scheme of things, it's still selling at a rapid pace. But when we look at it just apples to apples, comparing Tucson, Saudita, and Vail, it's slower than those. But when I look at that 10-year gap, I would say, yeah, of course, it's still a hot market, because over the course of 10 years, we've been at 5 months, right? Has been about the average for the course of 10 years. So that tells me over the past 10 years, it's been more of kind of a buyer's market, right? Because it's taking so long to sell. Right now, that's not the case, because we're well at about half of the past 10 years. Also, when I look at the sales price over the past 10 years, I mean, there's never been really a down point over the past 10 years in Vail. So, I would say, yeah, it is a good metric when you look at markets specifically. And I think that's another important call to action, is when you're looking at data, make sure you're looking at data for that specific market, because it's easy to, compare apples to apples with different markets and different numbers and data. And the reality is certain markets get affected differently than others, right? When you look at Tucson versus Phoenix, Phoenix has taken, not a massive dump, but it's definitely taken a hit this year in regards to real estate, whereas Tucson, no one's really felt the effects, right? I mean, it's slowed down, but compared to the most amount of selling in any time in history, which was 2021 and 2020. So, I mean, it's slowed down since then, but, when you're looking again at the 10-year mark, over the course of 10 years, it's still insanely fast. So I hope that answers your question. I know that was a lot.
No, it totally did. Totally did. So awesome,
Cool,
man.
brother. Well, dude, I know we have a quote. Hit us with it.
Absolutely. So don't compare yourself with other people. Compare yourself with who you were yesterday. And I kind of want to tell a little story. I was telling Cade this on the call before we actually started recording. It's super cool to have someone kind of like an accountability partner as well, who is watching your growth, watching everything and critiquing you. So for me, I compare myself to myself previously, but I also have someone compare myself to myself previously. And that's my partner Guy, who will be speaking on Thursday with me. But I ran an appointment with him this morning, and it's the first time in a couple of months that I ran an appointment. And I was like, I really want to see how I'm doing. Let me run it so you can critique me and say, hey, this is where you could improve, and this is where you couldn't improve. And, one thing that he found was that, my confidence has improved substantially, and my ability to speak, my actual presentation skills, like everything has improved substantially since the first time I gave that presentation with him. However, there is one key thing that I didn't even realize I was doing until he pointed out to me, and that was imposter syndrome. And I know probably most of us feel it. I was doing it in a unique way. Beforehand, before I started with Guy, I just had imposter syndrome wherever. Like I feel like I wasn't good enough. I feel like I was too young. It was affecting me in all aspects of my career. However, as I, shifted over to Guy and I got my process, I kind of leaned into the credibility of my process, and it pulled the lack of confidence out of me. So my ability to talk and confront people and have these conversations was easier. However, when I'm in appointments, I feel the need to say, well, this is what I have, and this is what I think you should do, sort of give that expertise, the expert style talk, but almost in a degrading way, because I'm leveraging the fact that I'm young and have what I have. it almost comes across as a bit snobby and arrogant. And I didn't realize it, but it was entirely just, again, my imposter syndrome surfacing in a new way. And so, the one thing is like when you are comparing yourself to yesterday, making sure that you are surrounding yourself with people like a crew like NGRN to kind of help navigate you and say, this is the things that I can see you grow in and also, do well in and improve on is, very important. And so staying coachable, staying humble, but also, comparing to yourself and not others is super important. So that's
I
my
love
little
that. Dude, I love that. And I think it's important to let everyone know if you have not come to an NGRN meetup or you have not met the group of people that show up there, come out. I mean, a lot as you're sitting there talking, Drew, I'm just thinking about some of the conversations I've had over the past couple months with our attendees and really our friends, and just seeing some of the stuff they're struggling with, right? Because we do have, let's face it, a lot of younger professionals who are looking to make something of themselves. And a lot of these professionals are running their own business, and it's hard. It's hard work, right? There's a reason a lot of people don't run their own businesses. It's a lot of work and everything is on you. And so when you're talking just with a lot of our attendees and our friends, it makes you realize how important it is to have a network where you can bounce ideas off of, where you can have accountability partners, where you can get new insights on ways to run your business and optimize your business, because that could substantially grow your business in 10 times quicker than it would take you to try to figure it out on your own. So it's so important to really come out, meet a bunch of people, grab coffees, learn more about people's stories, and really just connect with people to the point where they can share things with you that will help your business. Because really that's what we're all trying to do when we meet together, is we're trying to grow with each other. And so just want to encourage you guys, if you're kind of on the fence of coming out or you've never been to one before, make some time, come out. I promise you, you won't leave without any actionable steps that you can take or new relationships you can, learn from. So just want to encourage everyone watching.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So again, this Thursday, August 31st from 5:30 to 8:30 at the Sands Club. We hope to see you all there. Cade, I'll be excited to see you there. And
Sir.
hopefully at least you take a little bit of value from what Guy and I have to share. And I tell you what, man, we're people audience here. It is a super easy group to network with. It's not difficult. Every person that's come has said, you guys are very welcoming and open because we all just really want to see each other succeed. So
yeah, absolutely.
Sweet, Cade. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on Thursday.
Yes, sir, brother. See you Thursday.